welcome back. And if you tuned in late, this is a learning experience, certainly for me, and I'll bet it is for you. And my special guest, of course, is Donna Hopkins. She is a master gardener, and she's brought some really things that are so we don't know. I didn't know we had a state. I knew we had a state flower, but I didn't know we had all this other stuff. And this is fascinating.
Until I was asked to develop this presentation, I had no idea. I didn't know we had a state bug. We even have a state, I think he's considered a reptile, but I'm not certain. But the salamander, I didn't know that. You know, just...
Well, you left him at home today.
I left him at home today. I didn't bring him.
But we have all these beautiful plants, and then you brought the
I brought the fence. That's right, because that's the basis of the Carolina fence garden. So.
Okay, so we have the Carolina fence garden is located...
There is a garden and I'm sure there's some others, but I know about the Kilgore-Lewis house.
Okay, so there's one there.
That's right.
Okay, okay. And the master
gardeners... And you can go anytime. I just wanted to add,
okay.
There's no fee. You can go anytime to look at their gardens.
And the master gardeners, they're wonderful. They have programs all year long. And it's a real learning experience. And you have speakers and people who are interested in flowers or are learning about the history of all of this. It's wonderful.
Right. So
yeah. Now we had something over here. I was supposed to get this out.
Well, you can pull it just a little bit. We don't want to cover you up. No, that's far enough. Just right there. Just so people can see it. This is a purple fountain grass. And just real quick, I am going to show that the top of it is purple. And now you can push it back.
Okay.
This is an estate symbol, but in your garden, you don't want to have just 2 or 3 things. So you can build it.
This is a little purple on the top.
It is purple. So you can add grasses, and that just happens to be one that I could bring today. It is an annual, so the first frost, it's going to say, bye-bye, baby. But there are lots and lots of perennial grasses. But, you know, I kind of like this one, and I don't mind putting it in my garden each year. Also, you can have ground covers. This is called Creeping Jenny, and this grows on everything. What? Creeping Jenny.
Creeping Jenny, that's beautiful.
Right. So this would be something that would grow and kind of fill in your garden space and make it look very finished, because it would kind of nestle around everything else. You can put all kinds of plants inside your garden, and a lot of butterfly plants would be a good idea, because that's bringing the butterflies.
Okay, so if you know in advance, you go and get a plant that will attract butterflies.
That's right. And all of this information is available on the Clemson website.
Okay.
And the Master Gardeners have a website that I believe is on the screen shown.
Okay.
Greater Greenville MasterGardeners.org, I believe.
And the Master Gardeners, they have events all year long, and you have a speakers bureau.
Yes, and I am a member, and we go to a lot of places. Some garden clubs, which are just for their members, but we also go to libraries, which anybody can go to.
What about schools?
We go into schools when they have, depending, like when they're studying the state, because like I think 3rd grade or 4th grade maybe studies the state. So when they do, they ask that we come in, different people go in and talk to the children about things like this. This is a part of honoring our state.
With all these little creatures.
With the bugs, that's right, that they can attract. So by putting all these things into your garden, you make a Carolina fence garden, but you also make a lovely garden that you can have in your yard of whatever size it is.
Are these things difficult to grow up here in the upstate?
The only thing that would be difficult is if you just had to have a palmetto tree, and a palmetto tree is very iffy and they're very expensive. So that's why I prefer to use something to represent them. But everything else will grow, and they will all grow in the sunshine, so that you don't one of them needs shade and then everything else.
Suppose somebody has a very limited area
you could
to
do
grow
this
things.
On
they don't have a vast estate to put flowers and plants.
You could do the Carolina fence garden on the space in which we're standing right here.
Oh, really?
Yes, you could.
So somebody, for instance, even living in a condo with a garden spot.
That's right, on their deck, because you could do it in this space.
Oh, so it's all in knowing how.
That's right.
Yeah.
And just kind of using what you like to add to it to make it a finished garden, but all of these elements be included.
Well, it's lovely. I mean, and to find somebody that, now I know the master gardeners, that you have programs all year long.
Yes, we do.
And you do go into schools and different
Areas. You know, like garden clubs and libraries. So, and another thing we do, which is just once a year, is our Greater Greenville Master Gardener Symposium. And it is on February the 11th in 2017.
Okay.
We host it every year. There are speakers.
That's a big thing.
It is a big thing. We have around 350 attendees every year. The information goes out the Monday after Thanksgiving.
Okay,
and
so it's
we are
almost
usually
time.
booked by Christmas.
Oh, that's amazing.
So keep your eyes open.
And so all year they have programs, and you have speakers who go into schools and
That's right.
And I think we just kind of walk along and we see plants or things, but we don't really know.
That's right.
And know
Well,
the
that's
history
the great
and what
part
it has
about the
meaning
Master
for us in
Gardeners.
our state.
That's right. That's the great part of the Master Gardeners, because we have information to share for everybody, not just for select people.
Donna, how difficult is it to become a master gardener?
Oh, well, the main thing is just committing to 16 weeks. I finished the course and passed. So, because there's a lot of information that they teach us.
So you go every week?
Yes, for approximately 16 weeks.
Okay.
I hesitate, that's not the correct
Well,
number. But it's a good while that you go. So that's a commitment of being there, and it's like 4 hours.
4 hours at a time.
Every week.
And where do they hold it?
At the Clemson Extension office
Okay.
on,
Well, anybody
I
who's
don't remember
interested,
the name.
you can call the Clemson University Extension office
yes,
and
and
find out all
that's
about
right.
it. But it's something
at County
that is,
Square.
Now, do people? You obviously, I mean, you're deeply into this, and you're a wonderful gardener and a master gardener. But do you have to have? If somebody has never been in gardening, and they would hesitate to come into something like this.
Oh, but they
Is
would
there
have
something for beginners?
Absolutely. You don't have to know anything about gardening. And in those classes, you will know. And they give you a marvelous book, which is a great reference. And therefore, it's not like you're lost when you finish your classes. You still have that information, plus referring back to the Extension office, because they are there to help.
I know all over the Carolinas and Georgia and all, there are many garden clubs.
That's
people
right.
that are really committed.
And every state has master gardeners.
Oh,
Every state has extension offices. So they're there to help people everywhere.
well, I always think that we have a very blessed place, and some of these things are not that difficult to grow.
No. I can grow them, Peggy. That means anybody can grow them. Peggy's very nice, and you make me feel special. But there are a lot of master gardeners who know a lot more than I do. And therefore, when I can grow these things, it makes me feel good that
And we have
I can
a lot of
succeed.
things they grow very well
in our state.
In our
That's
state.
right. That's
and
right.
we're blessed to have a fairly warm climate. It doesn't get so bitter cold
No, it
that
doesn't.
things are killed forever in the
That's right.
wintertime.
That's right. So,
So now, give us some hints. This time of year, heading into fall, what are some of the things that people need to do?
well, they need to clean up their garden. They need
Okay.
to check their plants and where they've died out, and you can cut back unless that plant is not supposed to be cut back until spring. You need to check, but there's still, clean up your leaves, clean up what's considered plant trash, so
Okay.
that things. There's some things that need like some extra mulch maybe to help them if we do have lower temperatures. There are some things that need to be fertilized this time of year. So all of those things you can find out through the extension office, and there's a lot to do to get ready to put our gardens to bed for the winter.
And then they come back.
And then they
and
come
they
back.
flourish in the spring.
That's right.
Well, we do
So-
have a wonderful area to grow things, and you brought some lovely plants, and this one is
It wants to get you there.
yeah, it does. And this one is what?
That is goldenrod.
That's the goldenrod.
That's right,
okay.
and it's a native plant.
Okay.
I talked about the grass,
All right.
I just went blank, Indian grass, and it is
Okay.
also a native. And all of these things, our birds, the Carolina
And if
wren
you
is
and
native.
there are places you can go to get help and information.
Yes,
if
you
you want to
can.
plant something that will attract birds, for instance,
That's
or
right.
butterflies.
That's right.
People like you can help people say,
Well,
well,
that's
this is
true.
what you need to put in there.
And that's true. And on top of that, now with our internet, things
Okay.
are so much more available.
And the Master Gardeners
information.
has a speakers bureau, of which my friend is one. And so there are lots of people out there with great wealth of information. If you want to become a gardener or you want to just plant something, you want to do the right thing so
That's
that it will
right.
flourish.
That's right.
Yeah. You're a love. I appreciate so much your coming.
Well, I thank you for being
and
here,
Donna
Peggy.
is, of course, a master gardener, and this is fun to see all these things. And you can get your children involved.
Oh, definitely.
We're almost out of time, but if you have a little project with plants or something, you can get your kids involved.
That's right. Because then they learn about our earth and how things grow.
Yeah. Okay. You're the master. Thank you so
Thank you,
much,
Peggy.
Donna Hopkins. And wherever you are, we wish you joy, and we hope that we can all just get into the mood and have some growing things this fall and winter. We'll see you next time.